In the 1970s, something fell from the sky in Laos and Cambodia, something that killed thousands. Survivors called it yellow rain. They described aircraft dropping yellow powder over remote villages. Within hours, people were vomiting. Then they died. The victims were Hmong civilians who had fought alongside American forces. Entire families wiped out. The Reagan administration accused the Soviets of providing biological weapons. Soil samples contained deadly fungal toxins that could be weaponized. But some scientists claimed it was just bee feces from mass honeybee flights. The controversy raged for decades. Declassified documents later revealed both sides manipulated evidence to support their claims. The Americans needed proof of Soviet bioweapons. The Soviets needed to deny involvement. Meanwhile, the bodies kept piling up. Was it a Cold War cover-up, a biological weapon designed for genocide, or nature's most deadly coincidence? Thousands died from something that fell from aircraft in a region already poisoned by chemical warfare. The truth about yellow rain remains buried in classified files, but the victims are still dead. In 1953, CIA scientist Frank Olson attended what he thought was a normal work retreat. He had no idea they were about to drug him with LSD. It was part of MK Ultra, the CIA's secret mind control program. 9 days after being dosed without his knowledge, Olson plunged from a hotel window in New York City. For 22 years, his family believed he'd killed himself, that the LSD had caused a psychotic break. Then in 1975, the CIA finally admitted the truth. They had drugged him, without consent, but the real horror was still buried. When Olson's body was exhumed in 1994, forensic experts found something chilling: blunt force trauma to his skull. He hadn't jumped, he'd been murdered. The CIA had silenced a scientist who knew too much about their illegal human experiments. His son spent decades uncovering the truth. Olson had been planning to quit the CIA. He was going to expose their crimes, so they threw him out a window and called it suicide. Did you know that highly educated scientists once helped build weapons to end the world? In 1995, Tokyo's morning rush hour became a nightmare. Members of a doomsday cult released deadly sarin gas on 5 subway lines. 13 people died, thousands were injured. But this wasn't random violence. It was a test run. The Aum Shinrikyo cult had recruited brilliant scientists with advanced degrees. They built secret laboratories. They produced enough sarin to kill millions. Their leader, Shoko Asahara, convinced followers the apocalypse was coming. Only cult members would survive. These scientists didn't just make sarin. They developed anthrax, botulism, VX nerve agent. The subway attack was practice for something bigger. They planned to overthrow Japan's government. When police raided their compounds, they found stockpiled weapons, evidence of medical experiments on members, murder of anyone who tried to leave. Asahara was executed in 2018. But here's the terrifying part. The cult still exists today, under different names, with thousands of followers who still believe he was a prophet. Some nightmares never truly end. Did you know the US government helped one of history's most brutal Nazi war criminals live freely for 4 decades? Klaus Barbie was known as the Butcher of Lyon. During World War II, he personally tortured over 14,000 French resistance members, men, women, and children. He executed them with his own hands. When Germany fell, Barbie should have faced justice. Instead, the US Army recruited him. They gave him a new identity, Klaus Altmann. They smuggled him to Bolivia. For 33 years, he lived openly in La Paz, starting businesses, making friends with government officials, living a normal life. His victims' families thought he was dead. The CIA protected him because he provided anti-communist intelligence. When Nazi hunters finally found him in 1983, Bolivia sent him back to France. At his trial, Barbie showed zero remorse. He claimed he was just following orders. He died in prison in 1991. While his torture victims suffered lifelong trauma, their tormentor had lived free for 40 years, protected by the very people who claimed to fight for justice. Did you know the CIA once ran a killing machine that murdered over 20,000 innocent people? From 1967 to 1971, the Phoenix program turned South Vietnam into a nightmare. American advisors taught torture techniques, electric shock, waterboarding, psychological warfare. Secret interrogation centers operated across the country. Suspects were tortured for information, then executed. Many victims were just farmers, denounced by neighbors with personal grudges. The program used quotas. Each province had to meet monthly body counts or lose funding. operatives received bounties for confirmed kills, like a twisted video game with real corpses. CIA documents revealed the horrifying numbers: 20,000 dead, 28,000 imprisoned. Most were completely innocent. When congressional hearings exposed the program in 1971, the CIA called it legitimate counterintelligence, but survivors described systematic war crimes, torture chambers, mass executions, complete violations of the Geneva Conventions. For 4 years, America funded a state-sponsored murder program that killed more civilians than many serial killers combined. The Phoenix program remains one of the CIA's darkest chapters.